evening and welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Nadun Sirivardhana. Let's have a look at the headlines. Sri Lanka's construction sector shows increased activities. Tourism sector sees continued growth momentum in March. News in detail. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka announced that deflationary conditions in the country have started easing in March 2025, aligning with its near-term projections on Friday. Measured by the year-on-year change in the Colombo Consumer Price Index, headline inflation remained negative for the 7th consecutive month. Deflation slowed to 2.6% in March compared to 4.2% in February 2025. Non-food deflation decreased to 4.1% year-on-year in March from 6.1% in February. Food inflation recorded a 0.6% increase in March, reversing the deflation of 0.2% in February. The CCPI decreased by 0.31% in March, driven by a 0.43% drop in food prices and a 0.12% rise in non-food prices. The CBSL confirmed that the quarterly average headline inflation for Q1 2025 aligned with its projections. Deflationary conditions are expected to ease further in the coming months, with inflation projected to return to positive territory by mid-2025. The CBSL anticipates inflation will gradually converge to its targeted level of 5% over the medium term, supported by appropriate policy measures. Sri Lanka's construction sector continued its expansion in February 2025, with increased activity reported by most industry participants, according to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The Purchasing Managers Index for the construction sector rose to 55.6 in February, up from 52.9 in January, indicating further expansion. An index value above 50.0 signals growth in the sector. Respondents reported a continued rise in construction activity, driven mainly by road and irrigation rehabilitation projects. The quantity of purchases and suppliers' delivery time indices also expanded, reflecting an uptick in procurement and project execution. Despite the growth, the employment index contracted further, indicating conservative hiring practices within the sector. Industry players emphasized the need for more large-scale projects to sustain momentum. Firms expect greater government involvement in the construction industry for the remainder of 2025. As part of the Clean Sri Lanka program, the first phase of the Urban Forest project was launched near the Kalani Bridge in Paliagoda yesterday, coinciding with Zero Waste Day. Key stakeholders, including the Presidential Secretariat, Road Development Authority, Urban Development Authority and the Colombo Municipal Council, supported the execution of the initiative. State-owned land between the Nawaloko roundabout and New Kalani Bridge was transformed into an urban forest. Tree maintenance was entrusted to groups such as school, university and religious school students, with the Dharmajiva Dahampasala students caring for the trees near the Kalani Bridge. A mobile app was also introduced to monitor tree growth and caretake activities. Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumar Nayaka, described the project as a social and ethical movement, emphasizing its sustainability due to community involvement. Minister of Power and Energy Kumara Jayakodi highlighted the growing global focus on green cities and renewable energy, stressing public responsibility in achieving environmental goals. Minister of Urban Development Anura Karunatilaka noted the negative environmental impacts of urbanization and the role of urban forests in addressing these challenges. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. Sri Lanka's tourism sector continues its strong momentum in 2025 with almost 200,000 tourists arriving in the first 26 days of March, marking a 13% growth compared to the same period last year. As of last week, nearly 200,000 tourists visited Sri Lanka, bridging the year-to-date total to over 690,000 arrivals. The latest data showed that the first 26 days of March saw a footfall of 198,982 tourists, propelling the year-to-date figure to 684,960, reflecting a 14% year-on-year growth. Weekly arrivals, however, were seeing a declining trend, with the first week of March registering a total of 53,113 visitors, followed by 52,639 tourists in the second week and 51,459 in the third week. The data also show that the daily average of arrivals has steadily increased, rising from 6,756 during the first 26 days of March 2024 to 7,384 during the same period in 2025. However, on a month-on-month comparison, the daily average of arrivals declined by 18%. India remains Sri Lanka's largest source market in 2025, with an year-to-date total of 111,982 visitors, followed by Russia with 90,225 visitors and the United Kingdom with 64,711 travellers. In the first 26 days of March, India contributed 32,879 visitors, Russia contributed 25,864 visitors, and the UK contributed 17,453 arrivals. The Hambantota International Port welcomed the CMA CGM Silverstone, marking the vessel's maiden call at a Sri Lankan port. This milestone highlights HIP's growing prominence as a regional hub for vehicle transshipment. The 200-meter-long LNG-powered vessel, built in 2024 and sailing under the Maltese flag, has a capacity to transport 7,000 cars. Arriving from Singapore, the ship carried 333 transshipment units. Unlike traditional roll-on roll-off vessels, the CMA CGM Silverstone is exclusively designed for vehicle transport. This call serves as a trial for assessing HIP's potential as a transshipment hub for CMA CGM's car operations. The vessel will transport vehicles discharged at HIP by other operators to Casablanca, Morocco, without involving local vehicle imports or exports. Now, the much anticipated 21st edition of Raigam Tele's award ceremony was held in grand fashion at a hotel in Colombo over the past weekend. Excellence in television acting, presenting and performing, as well as conceptual excellence in teledramas and TV programs were celebrated on the grand night. The best actor and actresses were determined by the grand jury consisting of industry experts, and Priyantha Srikumara and Tharindi Fernando won those two awards respectively. The award for most popular actor and actress was awarded to Uddika Premaratna and Dinakshi Priyasad respectively by way of a popular vote through SMS. The award for most penetrated television actor and actress was bagged by Sajitha Anthony and Michelle Dilhara respectively. To select the most penetrated television program, news bulletin, teledrama and TV channel, the organizers sought the opinion of the masses through the vast distribution channel of Kingdom of Raigam, which spans all over the island. The winners were selected from a total of 125, whom were announced at the nomination evening. All the nominees received a life insurance policy worth 1 million rupees and a hospitalization cover worth 100,000 from Allianz Insurance. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.